Hi dear students of BCom second semester, those taking the information technology for business, the morning, the day and the noon students. I'm just trying to come to you over this Google Classroom platform. Hope you're fine and safe. Let me just go through the topic. We have out of the total units, I have two units that I will be handling, that is unit number 2 and unit 4. So unit 2, this is the syllabus, the structure of the syllabus. Now what is marked in bracket in red color, that's not specifically in the syllabus, so this word would not be in the syllabus, but this is how we will study, so that becomes easier for you bit more. And we have also specified a little bit more, so we are able to see details that pertains to a particular topic that is otherwise only given in general. So the second unit, we will just go to the first unit. This is a very basic topic, and for many of us this 2 units would be just basics. Do not tell anyone, maybe a class 6, class 7 topics of today's computer students in school level. But I'm sure we will learn a little more. Alright, so having seen the syllabus, we will go to the first unit that speaks about basically a system, what are required and related basic applications. Alright, so let's go to this is a general diagram. I'm sure in your school days this must be a very specific general diagram that many of us have drawn many times. So a system, a computer system or anything that has a computer technology inbuilt will have a basic structure of this. So we know the input unit, then we have a processing unit, we have an output unit. So of course here there are some examples for input devices. I'm sure there are many devices that we use. Keyboard and mouse are basics, camera etc. comes as input devices. Then of course you have a processing unit, we'll come into it a little later. Then we have an output device where the input data, whichever form we give, needs to be transformed into a format that the central system processing unit can handle, and an output is given to the world outside in a form that can be seen, managed and handled by. So you have a monitor, printer, speaker or other output devices. Now when we come to the central processing unit, or we call it a processing unit, very often we mistake it as that cabinet. No, the processing unit is what is inside it. Of course there is a central processing unit which is what is called the processor, the chip that handles, which is the brain of the computer. Then we have memory unit inside the processing unit. Of course by section it is different. There we will be studying, of course in the other unit you have sections on this, different types of memories. So where the data comes in, the processing unit process the data. Now temporary or for storage we need a memory unit to keep the data either while in action or for later use. So we use storages for that purpose. We will go to study later the types of memories, types of storages available. So this is a basic system of computer device, a layout diagram which uses input output devices. So what we are going to study in this unit is basically about this. I'm sure this is very common to all of us. Now let's go to the syllabus per se. So first is, now going back, when we have a computer, just the devices alone doesn't make a computer alive. In order to make it functional, active, we need to put what is called certain programs which brings this computer alive. So we call those applications or programs, we call it as operating system. Now when you come into a computer, we have an operating system that makes the system, this computer, functional. So that is what we are going to study. Here is a basic definition of operating system. So what an operating system is going to do is manipulate or handle how these individual units, devices work, give data transfer between them in the correct format required. The way input is given may not be how a processing unit will handle, and also how a output device will understand it. So for example, a data input through keyboard is to be transformed into a format possible, and it has to be given as a display, for example in a monitor. So all that is managed by the operating system. So if you go through this definition, it explains everything. So it controls the operation of the computer, directs input output of data, keeps track of information, track of files, controls the processing within the computer. It also manages functioning of each hardware, resource managing, running different applications, also serving as an interface. We will be learning certain terms later. So it should give a proper interface to the users who are using it, and also there are different resources of managing, allocating resources, functions to different users and programs. So that is a basic function of an operating system. Now when you come to operating system, there are different types of operating systems. There are different ways operating systems are divided. So one basic classification is this. So we call a single user operating system, which allows only one user at a time on a system. So a single user operating system, most PCs where we work is to this environment. Then we have a multi-user, allows two or more users to run programs at the same time, meaning concurrently. It is not that I use my system one time, another one uses another time, not that. At concurrently, same time, multiple users use the same same system. So we have what are called network systems where multiple users are able to log in to those. Then we have multi-processing operating system. Please learn, these are operating systems that supports running a program on more than one central processing unit. You know, when we have high-end machines, what are called servers, take your Facebook, YouTube, they are high servers wherein multiple users log in, and it is a multi-user, of course. Then there are multiple processors inside, CPUs inside the computers, so that programs can run much efficiently and achieve higher level of processing. So they are called multi-processing, so more than one CPU. Multitasking, it allows more than one programs to run concurrently. Of course, I'm sure we are used to this multi tasking. For example, on a single system, if you run many programs at the same time, you may have a word processing, you may have a music running, you may have a video playing at the background, etc. So that's our examples. So there is often a mistaken terminology between the three: multi-user, multi-processing, multitasking. So these are clear now. Then we have multi-threading. A thread in a computer is called an independent logical unit, a small part of a program that can be independently done. So when we have a single program, for example, let me take an example. I have a program, I can break that into different sections, or we call it different threads. So for example, each is an independent program. So this was the main program, I have broken into different threads. So I can go into very smaller threads. So each of this individual thread functioning together come back and we make it as an entire program. So that is called multi-threading operating system. So it allows many threads to run at the same time, which achieves a higher level of processing. Then we have real-time operating system. Most operating system, our conventional operating systems, are meant for a particular system, but real-time, where we need to respond to input critical situations. For example, a general purpose operating systems which we use, our DOS, Windows or Unix, are not real time, but imagine where a large, huge critical data needs to be processed, maybe a satellite or maybe a weather reporting. Then where there is a critical data, based on the data, immediate action needs to be taken. In such environments, we use a real-time operating system. So I hope this is clear. This is the first lecture. Get used to, and what is required, take down. All the best. God bless.